Welcome to Newspresso. Here is the top story in the past 6 hours. It's a night in November. That night becomes a winter wonderland. Late Sunday, a cold snap rushed in from the Arctic. It whipped down across the eastern half. The cold air didn't push the temperature down. It turned the Great Lakes into a giant snowmaker. Lake effect snow is simple. When cold air slides over the warm lake surface, the water evaporates and freezes on the air. Finally, it falls as snow. Because the snow bands are razor thin, totals swing wildly from one street to the next. Chicago had folks bracing for historic snowfall. But the heaviest bands stayed away from downtown. Still, a foot of snow fell over 50 miles south. From Illinois to Wisconsin hit the 10-inch mark. Interstate 57 south of Chicago was treacherous. The Weather Service warned of snow and winds, turning every drive into a test of nerve. That snow didn't stay in the Windy City. The Arctic air continued its march, sending a cold wave through the Midwest, the entire Great Lakes region. Over a foot of snow covered Michigan's peninsula. Northwest Indiana, northeast Ohio piled up several inches by Tuesday. Northwest Pennsylvania piled up several inches by Tuesday. Southwest New York piled up. Cleveland, Erie, and Buffalo were buried in flakes. They were still buried in flakes. Commuters shuffled out of work. It was the kind of blanket that makes the skyline look like a postcard from a snow globe. Meanwhile, the same cold mass was battering the southeast region. The Atlantic coast, from Alabama to Florida, was staring at daily record lows. Birmingham, Huntsville, and Baton Rouge, Savannah, Tampa, and Fort Myers all felt the sting of temperatures that are the lowest in decades. Jacksonville's called for a 30-degree morning, the fall temperature in that city since 1976. Savannah could dip to 28 degrees. Even Florida's highs could hit lowest on record. Melbourne's temperature dropping below 60 degrees, for the first time in its 85-year history. Wind chills added a biting layer. In Florida, winds were 20s or lower 30s. Washington, D.C. woke up with temperatures near 30. New York City was near freezing in the Big Apple. Charleston saw a few inches of snow. Appalachian Highlands also saw snow. Surprisingly, flakes reached Atlanta. On Monday afternoon, they fell lightly. Good news, though. This polar plunge is not permanent. Central U.S. temps bounced back on Tuesday. The east warmed again on Wednesday. The storm's fury would fade as the Arctic air slipped away, leaving behind a reminder how quickly weather can swing from mild to wintry. In short, the cold snap turned the Midwest. Late November cold snap turned the Great Lakes into a massive snow-filled theater. While the Southeast braced for historic cold, the heat of the season will return by the next morning. Subscribe Newspresso. Never miss a major global headline.